Uh-oh. Eagles' new defensive end Bryce Huff is working with the same guy who trains Micah Parsons. Plus, an NFL insider said Mekhi Becton might start for the Birds, and he also said he's better than Lane, Landon, and Mulata at this one thing. We also got another update on Cindy Brown while hearing about a real, true, possible trade candidate for James Bradberry, and Bleacher Report lists 3 Eagles, 1 rookie, and 2 new signees that won't live up to the hype. What is going on, everybody? I go by Philly Mike, and this is the Philly Tall Podcast. I'm back from vacation, but before we get into it, help your boy out. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on that notification bell so you don't miss the videos. So, an anonymous NFL coach says the Eagles re-signed a Pro Bowler because the position group was soft as bleep without him. The Pro Bowler in which they were talking about was none other than Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, CJGJ. And again, if you look at the Eagles defense last year, we were one of the worst pass defenses in the NFL, so it makes sense. Not only that, but we couldn't tackle for anything. And I'm not saying CJGJ is the best tackler, but he's a willing tackler. I look back at the injury in Green Bay was due to him just laying lumber on a receiver trying to catch the ball. Look at the Super Bowl. The only big hit I seen in that game via the Eagles' defensive side was from C.J. Gardner-Johnson. He's back, and the last time he lined up, guys like James Bradberry were playing on an all-pro level, who I don't believe will end up being on the Eagles when push comes to shove. But if someone like C.J. Gardner-Johnson playing behind Bradberry can turn it from all-pro to all buns, then whoever does get cornerback 2, having C.J. Gardner-Johnson back there alongside of Reed Blankenship and or Cindy Brown is going to pay dividends in this secondary as a whole. I don't believe us Eagle fans are overlooking what he brings to the team, but the rest of the NFL national media is definitely overlooking the presence of one C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Speaking about James Bradberry, who wasn't all-pro, like I said the last time he played with C.J. Gardner-Johnson, we could actually have a trade partner for him that makes sense. Could there be a trade between the Eagles and the Steelers, 2 teams on the opposite side of Pennsylvania with an eye on the same prize of winning their respective divisions? They continue by talking about the veteran cornerback the Steelers just signed, Cam Sutton, who, by the way, is probably close to James Bradberry's age. He was suspended due to some type of off-field problems, allegations. I'm not even sure. But with the Steelers signing him for a reason, as a veteran, losing him, could they be interested in James Bradberry to help mold the young secondary they're trying to build? Again, I do believe the Eagles wanted to give James Bradberry a try at corner. Then they thought about moving him to safety. But with him being hurt in OTAs, his time is running up. Training camp is the last time he can prove that he deserves some type of role on this team, with the secondary being as deep as it ever been. At corner, are we going to keep him on a roster to be a backup safety? I don't know, but the Steelers do make sense as a trade partner to just part ways, begin our future, and get some type of compensation. As for the safety room, which is right now C.J. Gardner-Johnson and Reed Blankenship, Cindy Brown continues to show that he really might be ready for week 1, which is a really good sign. And again, when I look at the second safety on this team, I think Reed Blankenship, great in the box, nice tackler, has some good IQ. But when it comes to athleticism and just flying around, this is why we drafted Cindy Brown, right? We had Reed Blankenship on the roster, although it was his rookie year and he didn't play much, but the Eagles, knowing they had him, still decided to go out there and get a Cindy Brown in the 3rd round. I do believe he's being, hey, this is my job, because if we do hear murmurs that Reed Blankenship ain't living up to par during camp and all that, well, it's more of an opportunity for week 1. Cindy Brown's back. Fangio looks to the left, looks to the right, and says, get him in the game. We going to put Cindy Brown in the game, pull Reed Blankenship. So Reed is going to have the first opportunity, whether it's joint practice, training camp, preseason, and maybe week 1. But Cindy Brown is right behind him. Again, I can't wait to see what happens. You know my motto, iron sharpens iron. And I'm not giving up on Reed Blankenship until Cindy Brown shows me he could do it. I believe in both these guys. and I just want the best player to play. Staying with the defense, Bryce Huff put out a workout video, and he's training with the same guy who trains Micah Parsons. He's looking real quick with his footwork, getting around the edge, and it's going to be his most important season of his career. Again, big-time contract, 3 years, $50 million, leaves the Jets after only playing 47% of the snaps in 2023, still coming away with double-digit sacks, 10. And when you look at this Eagles pass rush, there's questions. I think there's good questions. Can and will Nolan Smith step up like a lot of us believe he can? He did it in the playoff game. He had one of the better games and actually got snaps. This year's going to be different than his rookie season. He's going to have to play. You still got BG, who just 2 years ago had double-digit sacks in the same role as Bryce Huff. Actually, maybe a little less. I think BG played 35, 40% the year he had double-digit sacks in 2022. And, of course, Josh Sweat. We've seen what his potential could be in 2022, and he came back down to earth in 2023 with the rest of the group. I do believe that Jalen Carter has an opportunity at the D-tackle position to lead the Eagles in sacks, which will be scary. I believe Milton Williams can get at the quarterback, and Jordan Davis is going to be special at stopping a run, and he will provide some sacks. But I do think the sack leaders in the middle are still going to be Milton and Jalen Carter. However, if the interior does what we believe it can do as well, secondary is as good as we think, it is going to help the pass rushers. I also think a guy like Fangio blitzing Devin White every now and then will also create one-on-one matchups for Sweat, Smith, Graham, and most importantly, Bryce Huff. Because like I said, if you look at it contractually, he is the highest paid edge rusher on this team. Higher than Josh Sweat, higher than BG, and definitely higher than Nolan Smith, who's on a rookie contract. So when you get in the bag, right, not the top 5, top 3 pass rusher, but when you are the highest paid pass rusher on a team, we need you to provide highest amount of productivity. And again, those who've been following me for a minute know that my brother is a Jets fan, right? So, I gave him the 411 about Hassan Reddick, and he let me know everything that I need to know about Bryce Huff. And Jets fans did not want to lose Bryce Huff. Yes, he has to get better via stopping the run, for sure. But Fangio knows that, and that's what they've been working on. As a pass rusher, he got a gift. And for those who say, well, we got to see it again. Yes, that is true. But if you really watch certain snaps last year, he was an animal. Again, to stay on the field, you have to be able to do something in the run game. I believe guys like Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, and a guy like Devin White at linebacker with Fangio as the coach will help him versus the run. But he's still got to put the work into. Pass rushing has never been his problem, and we definitely need double-digit plus sacks from Bryce Huff. Lastly, before we switch over to the offensive side, Philadelphia Eagles Central tweeted, trending, Cooper DeJean, Paris Campbell, and Devin White were listed as Eagle players who won't live up to the hype this season by Bleacher Report. I guess if you want to keep it all the way 100, the only way Cooper DeJean won't live up to the hype is if he just can't get on the field, right? The slot position and the outside position is too much. We got good productivity from the safeties, and he just doesn't get on the field. That's the only way I don't see him living up to it. I think he's an absolute stud, baller, should have been a first-round pick. Let me know what y'all think. As for Paris Campbell, okay, maybe. Like, we're not asking him to be anything more than wide receiver 3. But wide receiver 3 for the Philadelphia Eagles is playmaker 5. See, a lot of people don't really say it like that. They call Paris Campbell a wide receiver 3, which I just did. But he's playmaker number 5. He's behind AJ, Smitty, Goddard, and Saquon. So I'm not asking for much. You give me 300-400 yards, catch first downs when the ball goes your way, and I think that's good enough to call it a successful tenure with the Eagles if you just make the couple important plays that come your way due to the attention of everybody else. And last but not least, Devin White. I think some people across the NFL think that the best days of Devin White are behind him. How? He's 26 years old. I think regardless if he was good early in his career and fell apart the last year or two, there were definitely things behind the scenes that were causing that. You're talking about a 26-year-old, not a 29, not a 30, a 26-year-old who's now on a one-year prove-it deal to show that he can play in this league. We already heard him comment on how Fangio runs his defense and believes he's going to utilize him, and all we saw was a big smile. I feel like Devin White on a one-year deal couldn't have been in a more better scenario. Question marks on the pass rush, but I like the answers that could come from the questions to our pass rush. You got a secondary behind you, right? As much as we talk about the pass rush helps the secondary and the secondary helps the pass rush, well, guess what? Both of them help the linebackers. If you got a guy like Jordan Davis taking on 2 blocks, Devin White can see ball, get ball a lot easier. If you got the secondary holding up and you decide to blitz Devin White, he don't got to get there in 0.8 seconds. He has 2 or 3 seconds to get around a block while he's not being double-teamed because the D-line's being double-teamed and get at the quarterback. So I do believe he's in a win-win scenario with the Eagles on a one-year deal, and hopefully we extend them. Again, this is Bleacher Report saying that these are the 3 Eagles that might not live up to it. But I think you could have picked other Eagles. And the only way the Cooper DeJean one happens is if he don't play. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section about that. Let's talk a little offense before we get out of here. Moving on to a tweet from Word on the Birds, Lane Johnson on Kellen Moore. Kellen brings a dynamic offense. His offense have put up a lot of points over the years. And obviously, him as a player, achieving what he achieved, just the right mind. Seeing that during OTAs, you can feel that this guy knows what he's doing. And again, this ain't a third-year, fourth-year player. This is a 10-plus year veteran, Hall of Fame when he retires, Pro Bowl, All-Pro right tackle, talking about Kellen knows what he's doing. And lastly, Brandon Lee Gouton on what Baldy had to say about Mekhi Becton. He is the best run blocker that the Eagles have. If he's healthy, he will play right guard for them. They are working with him in there. I would keep an eye on Mekhi Becton. Sheesh, that's huge words from Brian Baldinger. Again, we heard the murmurs and the reports that he was getting some work at guard. And that spot is open, right? Tyler Steen seems to be the front runner, but according to Brian Baldinger, watch out for Mekhi Becton taking that spot just based off how good of a run blocker he is. And we're going to run the ball with Saquon Barkley, so it does make sense. All that being said, once upon a time, first-round tackle who just couldn't live up to the hype in New York. Not the Giants, the Jets, but both New York teams have been abysmal for a while, although the Jets are about to be good this season, but that's neither here or there. Mekhi Becton never had a teacher like Stoutland, who's already played him at tackle and guard, right? You couldn't get one position from Mekhi Becton in New York. Now you got 2 in a short time with Jeff Stoutland. So I'm ready to see what happens. May the best man win. Tyler Steen, Mekhi Becton, Trevin Keeger, Matt Hennessy. Whoever wins the spot is going to be battle-tested, and you will be playing alongside of Lane Johnson and Cam Jurgens, and you would also have Jordan Mailata and Landon Dickerson on that line. And again, if we running the ball 25, 27 times, Mekhi Becton might just be the right guy for the job. With all that being said, I go by Philly Mike. It's the Philly Talk Podcast. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on that notification bell so you don't miss the videos. Only one live stream in the last 5 days. Was on vacation. Still got one live stream out for y'all, but the vacation was much needed. But now we're back every single day with videos or live streams. Do your boy a favor and drop the muscle emoji in the comment section if you got nothing to say. But please, give me your thoughts. I absolutely love hearing from y'all. Until next time, you know what time it is. We out.